What's going on, y'all? D Island Rex coming to you live with another video. I got another video, man. What I want to talk about today is The Wire versus Power. Um, you know, I always been a huge fan of the show The Wire. Like that's still my favorite show to this day. Um, and I got to a point where when I was watching Power, I was like, man, Power might be better than The Wire. Like I just kept saying, I was like, man, Power is better than The Wire, and I started to feel like that because the reason I was feeling like that is because it was a void as far as like in terms of shows. Like everybody always talking about Breaking Bad or The Sopranos. I tried to watch Breaking Bad. I just couldn't. It didn't resonate with me. Like I couldn't really watch, Breaking Bad, and that seemed like the guy, the teacher, and it just didn't resonate with me. I just couldn't get down with Breaking Bad. It may have been a great show if I got more into it, but it didn't sit well with me. It's like uh, The Wire and Power. Those shows, it has like loyalty, family values. It's things that I see that I've seen, in a neighborhood where you have people like Naaman who try to be gangster or try to act like they tough, but they not really like that. And then you got others, aspects of the streets and the struggle, and it resonate with the audience. Um, my thing, I felt like as I kept watching Power and watching it, it just like 50 Cent took it to another level. With a guy being owning a club and having kids, and Naturi nodding, and I like the whole, with Angela, his I think it was either his high school sweetheart or the girl he grew up with, as a kid. Uh, her coming in the club, her being a DA, and she chasing him, and she don't even know who she chasing. She actually chasing, the guy that she loved is actually the drug dealer, and he pretty much on his own club. It just I like that storyline. It's just so amazing, and and I was starting to grow to love this show. Like it got to the point where I was just watching it so much, just watch Power like every day, and it started to get me to a point where I was like, man, this show might be better than The Wire. Like this show better. This show better than The Wire. But as I go back and watch The Wire, like, and I go back to season one, and I'm watching all the film, and it's like, nah, like it's like no show really come close to The Wire, man. Like I mean, I had to sit around and ask my dad, like, what is it about The Wire that stuck with people? Like, why does it like if you a huge Wire head, like it's a guy that go by the name of Brandon Hicks. He's recently, it's always been like like the Wire videos on the internet, and you see people their comments, in the dialogue where they talk about the, just the head motion. It could be just little simple things that people pick up on, and you go read it in the comment section, and it's stuff that you never caught when you was watching the show, and like how Chris looked at uh, Marlo when Marlo told him about Michael standing tall, and fighting for Randy when Randy was a snitch, and you like why he ain't never say nothing, but why he look at him like that? And then you got so many people in the comment section like, oh, he was thinking this and he was thinking that, and and it's just amazing, with the dialogue. I don't know if they're gonna do that with Power, years down the road, but as I go back and look at all the old Power episodes, they were good, but it wasn't The Wire level. Like the level for The Wire is just totally beyond. What Avon, the music, it's like the music captured that moment. Like when Avon and Stringer Bell and uh, Slim Charles was sitting in a room, and Stringer Bell went to him and told him he wanted to put a hit out on him. He was like, making me wait to see my own partner. So he was like, he knew String. He said, a lot of new faces. You ask me, like I know line for line with The Wire. Like I know line for line. He said, murder ain't no thing, but this some assassination shit. He said, if I tell you go get him, he need to be got. He said, shit, String, I don't know. And then Avon come in, he was like, he gonna have to sit this one out, boss. So you wanna hit a downtown senator. And like that moment, like with the locked up in the background, it's like that moment. It's like in those songs, like a lot of songs in Power, uh, they don't capture the moment. Like, don't you know a song where you be like, man, I remember that song put me in mind of this, or that song put me in mind of that, and it's like years down the road, you can look at it and be like, man, I love that song because of this, or that song put me in mind of that. It's just that moment. You know, I really, I don't know if y'all can vibe with me or understand what I'm saying, but it's like that moment of that song, just like it make you feel like, man, like years down the road, you be like, man, I love that song because of this or because of that. And you know, you can still go back, and that song might be old, but you can go back and watch that series, and it just seemed like that song was fit for that moment. And you know, The Wire was just amazing, man. The character Michael just being so complex. Uh, the fact how Avon didn't really care about his name ringing out. You know, him and his nephew D. I felt like D was weak. You know, and I think he would have respected D more if D would have just came to him and said, "Hey, look, like with Cuddy, when Cuddy wanted to get out the game, he went to Avon and was like, I want to get out." Like, you know, Cuddy was like, I want to get out. And Avon, he tried to keep him in just like D was trying to get out. You know, his mother was trying to keep him in. But he respected Cuddy more when Cuddy said, I want to be out the game. This is not me. I don't want to do this anymore. And he said, you know what? You a man now. And he respected it. But D was, he was kind of weak. And D didn't want to, he didn't have enough guts to say, I want to get out. And B, you see how when he went to the referee, he told the referee when Prop Joe, they had a basketball game. I think this was either season 1 or season 2. I believe it was season 1. And he told the referee, be a man. If you, and he probably would have knocked the referee out, but it was, he like, stand up for yourself. You need to be a man and say what you feel. You know, and I think that's what he would have respected D more if D would have said, I want to get out the game. Do what you gonna do. Because he did it with Wallace. He went in there and spoke how he felt about Wallace and left out. Not caring about the repercussions. D was doing drugs. He was putting them at risk. So, and like those characters, you can relate to somebody wanting to get out, whether it don't even have to be from a street aspect. You know, just somebody want to get out in life and just want to do something different. And you got people trying to pull you back in. You can relate to that with whether it's Michael, whether it's Neyman, you know, D, uh, Duke, anybody, you know, Bubbles, like the crackhead, like you could relate to every aspect of that show. And I think that's why no show could live up to The Wire. Like the music, you know, a lot of music from Power, they just pick the music, you know, that's hot out today. Like none of the songs from that show, I felt like you can't be like, man, that's that moment right there. Like that's why I love that show, because the music, like I think that they use some songs from like J. Cole, or you know, songs that's really, you know, some possible Drake songs, song even with 50 Cent. If you go back and listen to a lot of 50 Cent music, those songs are songs that you live with growing up. Like these new songs, I just seem like a fad, and they just gonna go away, and you're gonna look back and like it's one song. It's a techno song that I was listening to. I went back and watched Power. I think it was episode 4 or 3 or 4, and they had like this techno song, and it was just like it was from ASAP Rocky, and it was just this loud techno song. And I'm like, man, it was just loud and just. I was like, what? Like, and on Power, it just like I said, man. I mean, on The Wire, it's like that song right there when it never made the soundtrack. It's like the soundtrack was strategic on The Wire. It was like strategic. It was thought out. It was calculated. Everything. when people talking about the chess pieces, when they talked about the McNuggets, like those moments just sit well. And one thing I want to talk about before I end this video is season 6. I would have loved to see a season 6 of The Wire. Like that would have been so amazing. And I felt like David Simon, and even if season 6 make you want a season 7, I still feel like he should keep going, man. Like I know people want to get out at the right time, and I really don't know what. I wish somebody can explain to me. If people in the comment section, if you watch The Wire, you a huge Wire person, go down in the comment section and let me know. Like, give me a reason why did he stop the show. I never understood like why did he stop putting the show on TV. Like I didn't know that the people the big guys, the guys who got the money and all that, did they HBO and all them tell him that that we can't, that we want to do things different, or like we don't want to keep putting the show in a negative light. Like go in the comment section and let me know why he didn't do a season 6. Like I would have loved to see season 6 where like Marlo, Avon finally get out of jail. You seen uh Slim Charles take over the Connect, but I wish it could be like he take over the Connect, but it was for Avon the whole time, and Avon was behind. He knew that Marlo would do everything he did, and he get out of jail and he take over again, and he got the Connect, and and Slim Charles is just a side man. He was a side man with Avon, but he was loyal. I loved his loyalty, but um he the side man for Avon again. And then Michael just going around robbing everybody, Duke on drugs. The cycle just start over again, and uh, Naaman being smart. Like I hope they could just, and even Kennard getting out of jail, and I would just love the storyline and keep it going, man. Like I just want to see another season 6. And I haven't seen the video where somebody talk about season 6 on here and how it could be amazing. But like I said, The Wire, no show comes close to that. And I love Power. Like I love Power. I can't really get into Empire. I tried, but it's just not for me. So man, make sure y'all click that subscribe button, man. If y'all want to see season 6 of The Wire, man, go ahead, let me know what we gotta do to petition to see that. I love The Wire, man. Like my favorite show of all time, number one. Nothing comes close, man. So click that subscribe button. I'm out. Love y'all.